How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Kingdom Hearts Unchained. I happen to have the Twitch chat with me on this one. For the Twitch chat, I am opting to re-record my episodes over from last night because I want to get them in better quality, and I've also done a little bit of tweaks on my end as well. To answer Roxas's question, for your level up, no, it will not. It will not, unfortunately. I don't think it even transfers over if you do the same type of metal. I think you have to drag other stuff onto it, but you can't transfer stuff off of it once you've already put it on it. So I've opted to do this LP in a different way because I'm realizing that episodes are 10 missions and they basically take around half an hour, raid bosses included, and that's because I'm fighting every single enemy. Y'all probably aren't here for that. Y'all are probably here to watch the actual game itself. So where we left off, he's right, I actually can jump over that log pretty easily. I'm actually going to show off what the objectives are instead, and I can show you guys where any hidden enemies are pertaining to the objectives at that point, but other than that, I'm going to skip through all of the enemies. So, objectives for this mission are to defeat all enemies within one turn, complete without having to continue, very easy at this point in the game, and then defeat the aerial knocker within one turn. Now, for the aerial knocker, this is going to turn into like partially a walkthrough, honestly. And then ignore this, the aerial knocker. I almost said aerial walker. He's right there. So you just gotta knock him out in one turn. At this point in the game, you might have good medals. I don't think I actually mentioned it with my new, because it's the first time I've actually recorded an episode technically on my channel since the 1 AP event started. So I figured I would take the opportunity to mention that. It has been going on for a little bit. As a way for Europe to catch up to North America as well as Japan, because they're trailing really far behind. They made it so every event only costs 1 AP. Now the difference between this and like a game like Pokemon Shuffle or Candy Crush is a heart is not equivalent to an AP. Why, hello there, my name is Alice. Who might you be? So we are here in Wonderland. Thank goodness, I was afraid you'd speak in riddles, too. I'll jump more into what I was talking about. I don't suppose you've seen a white rabbit, have you? I've been looking for him everywhere. I mean, I'm white and green, if that counts right now. How unfortunate. Where could he have gone? Honestly, we'll figure it out. No time to say hello, goodbye, I'm late. Hey, there he is. Thanks. Is there an echo in here, Alice? Pretty sure it's also me as well. So, we're gonna go chase after her. Lose something? Your way, perhaps? Don't lose your way. Or an answer? I have lots of those. The questions don't matter, of course. All answers here have lots of questions. Crazy cat. So I gotta search the area for Heartless. Taking a quick detour real quick. For what I was talking about with the 1 AP event. I can actually pull that up right now, and I feel like changing my outfit, so... where is it? It's right here. So, if you log in and you're a fan of Birth by Sleep between today, which happens to be June 20th, this medal is actually only going to be live for the next couple of days. So even if you're thinking about playing this game, log in, download it, log in, link it to your Facebook. You'll save your progress as long as you have your Facebook. And then you never have to log in again. But you get a free, really good medal just for doing it, even if you're on the fence. And then up until, I believe, next Sunday at midnight, everything only costs 1 AP. And for reference, AP is kind of proportionate to hearts at a rate of, like, anywhere between... Shit, I don't know, like... It scales according to how far the story goes along, and it scales according to your level as well. But it's usually like, I don't know, like maybe 10 AP to 1 heart, pretty much. A lot of these earlier missions will start to cost like 3 or 4 or whatnot. And I might as well actually do the Keyblade objectives. So, objective for this mission, one of them was to equip the Starlight Keyblade. And then, I think, yeah, 3 to 20-ish, roughly, is what they equal. But when they're all bumped down to 1, and you recover 1 every 3 minutes, you will, at that point, it's basically unlimited AP. You can play to your heart's content all week, is what this event means. I was chasing the white rabbit, but I've lost sight of him. I'll keep searching. Would you look for him as well? Yeah, sure. We'll take a quick peek. Oh, never mind. This is an escort mission. Psych. So let's see. Objectives for this mission. Defeat all enemies within 1 turn. Viable. Use 1 or more special attacks. Viable. Equip the Starlight Keyblade. Also viable. Pretty straightforward level. Nothing too much to worry about. Mr. Rabbit, where are you? And then... just gonna knock these guys out. But yeah, if you're playing it through for the first time and you want to get the objectives, let me just go ahead and re-emphasize that you should be doing that, because the avatar coins are what let you get through the customizing part of the game, and then different customizing nodes on there are what give you your upgrades to make your character stronger on top of just regular strength. You get boosted cost so you can equip better medals, you get more HP so you can take more hits, you get more AP so you can do more missions and charge up more in your spare time. It's worth it to do the objectives if you can. I've lost sight of the white rabbit, and I've gotten myself lost. Could you show me the way back to where I was? This is why we're protecting you from Heartless, I guess. Walk Alice to the fork in the road. And then this is where Mizuchi happens to be, one of our party members that joined fairly recently. And it's actually good perspective to see what kind of level you'd be at if you're joining our party, pretty much, slash if you're playing on your own. So he's around level 18 right now. I'm not sure whether or not he's participated in any of our raid bosses or anything of the sort. But, I mean, if you do, you get levels pretty quickly that way, too. So, objectives for this stage. I don't think there was a Keyblade-related one. There was defeat all enemies within 1 turn. Viable. To use 2 more special attacks. Also viable. Defeat aerial knocker. And it only wants you to beat 1 of them, so let's see if we can find him for you guys. Not that there's too many hidden areas. There are hidden areas in these stages sometimes, and thankfully, because they all share the same layout pretty much, you tend to learn where they are. This is one where they'll sometimes stash a chest or whatever. They don't make them too super hidden in these early levels. We will find the knocker. And I can't cut past that guy, unfortunately. And I don't think I can cut past that guy either. Let's try to... surprise! Can't cut past that guy either. So let's... Also, guess what? Can't cut past that guy, so much for taking shortcuts. It's rather slippery. Well, the leaf is wet. And then there's the knocker right there. You don't actually have to fight him to grab the chest if you've already done the objective. It's just a free item. I don't remember if those boards were. It's been a while since I've actually gotten them. I got them because they were cheap, and then I did not have anything to spend my gems on for the week, which is why I opted to do that instead. So, I mean, I didn't care at that point. Plus, when you're going through the story on top of not being a free-to-play player, you end up with a little bit of surplus sometimes. But I did at the time. It was at the point in the very early introduction of the game where SIDs were a little harder to find. So I was like, I just want SIDs and I want them now. So, alright, thank you oh so much. Perhaps he's gone this way. I'll keep looking. It's very interesting playing this game because I'm playing a story, but I'm also interacting with 2 chats at the same time. I'm interacting with the Twitch chat, and then I'm also interacting with my party chat, which has some overlap, since some of them happen to be in the chat right now. For objectives for this mission, defeat all enemies within 1 turn, defeat 13 or more enemies, and defeat the Tornado Step, who is right over here, within 1 turn. Almost able to do it in 1 hit. And then target is going to be over here. Why, the white rabbit has some peculiar looking visards. Visitors. Visits. Visitors. Wizarders. Visits. Woof. Was your girlfriend? Woof. I don't know why I just remember that line from Oh my god, I love that movie. So that's the end of that mission there. Usually these enemy ones get pretty easy. They actually kind of stop slinging the beat the enemies in one turn missions at you. They turn into survival missions. They turn into like complete without having to continue, and that's when you know you're kind of in trouble, because the game at that point is just throwing the randomest crap at you. Thanks for the follow, Custer Bear 500. Well, now that his visitors have left, I can continue my search. Thank you for all your help. And our buddy Kirthi says, look at you! It looks like things are taken care of around here, at least for now. Let's see if there's anyone else who needs a hand. So it's at this point, I believe, if you have not cleared this stage before, I believe you get the Lady Luck Keyblade at that point in time, which lets you equip, I believe, more speed medals? Or it benefits with more speed medals. It doesn't let you equip more. It has more speed medal power-ups, because it asks you to equip it right there. At that point in time, you might not have enough for a full board. I'm not sure how generous they've been. There wasn't a lot of events when I started, but who knows, maybe now there is. We are currently recording this series for my YouTube channel, where I play 10 of these missions at a time. So for one of my objectives, I actually did want to go back and grab the Lady Luck Keyblade. And we leave we enter with Aladdin and Abu. And they got one apple between them. Breakfast is served. That's breakfast. For just him. Not even for Aladdin, just for Abu. We do if you are in the Anguius Union. Wonder what it would be like to live there. What's going on? There's monsters is what's going on. Let's check it out. Didn't even take the apple! They thought could attack my city and get away with it? Not on my watch. So this is the guy. This guy is a toughie. And he just runs off with Abu, because Abu tries to grab stuff. And this guy really messed with Aladdin. What level are you, out of curiosity, Custer? Not that it's really going to determine whether or not you're joining, because we have empty slots at the moment. Thanks. I'd have been in real trouble if you hadn't come along. By the way, my name's Aladdin. Pretty sure all of us born in the past, like, 20, 30 years know that. I don't think I've seen you around before. You're not from here, are you? Or I mean like 20, 30 years ago. 10 years ago? I'm trying to make some kind of Aladdin elitist joke, and it's not working out. They should probably go home. There's strange monsters in the city, so it's not safe. Look what happened to me. Yeah, fucked up in the desert is what happened. This boy got popped. I can't just stay here, I have to go back. If I don't protect it, who will? So he wants us to go home, and he's gonna scurry home. You didn't say yes, did you? I technically didn't say shit, but I appreciate your concern. See what's happening in Aladdin's hometown. Okay. Give me that ID later after I finish recording this episode. I'll only be a few more missions, and then I can stop in between and do that. City isn't far from here, let's go. So, for next missions, for stuff, defeat all enemies within one turn, defeat Bandit, one of them, and then equip the Lady Luck Keyblade. So, I have the Lady Luck Keyblade on, which means as long as I clear the mission, I'm actually going to get it. It wants us to beat the Bandit. Done. That's 2 out of 3. If I wanted the third one, if I didn't have it, I'd have to beat everything else on the screen. Fortunately, we already have, so that saves us a lot of time. And I believe this is our target. So, take him out real quick. I don't know why I opted in my previous 2 episodes to kill every enemy in sight on the way to any objective ever, when in reality, oh, they're probably just there for the story, you know? That's fair. Whew. You're still here? Well, I guess it's too late to turn back now. Just be careful. It's weird. Agrabah's like a ghost town. Everybody got scared and left. Hey, I've got an idea. The palace guards always know what's going on. But you'll have to ask them yourself. Well, let's just say they're not my biggest fans. Thanks for the follow, Theory X. Defeat the Heartless in the city is going to be our next objective. So we got 26 through 30. We're going to make a switch over to red in a little bit. Good to know. Not too relevant, but... What's up, man? So, objectives for this level: defeat all enemies within 1 turn, defeat the bandit within 1 turn, and use 1 or more special attacks. All pretty simple. The bandit might actually even be... I think the bandit's on the way to the target. So that's 1 objective done. My next objective would be using just 1 special attack, which we can do that right now. So that's 2 out of 3, and then the other one was to, well, what was I going to say? Destroy all enemies. That's going to be a pretty popular one, by the way, for a long time. Just as a heads up. And thankfully these missions go a lot faster. When you're starting out, you normally don't have this much AP to play through them. You'll probably have a point in time where you'll have a light cooldown of like half an hour to an hour. And I think I'm actually going to use this Keyblade to get its special gauge back up. This is our first, I'm going to say our first dual-type Keyblade, because the Starlight is technically a 3-type Keyblade. But this one favors speed and power metals, and then I think there is a couple of other ones in the future as well that favor 2 types of metals, and there may be missions even in the future as well that want you to bring this Keyblade because they have both of those types of enemies. So I did not equip the treasure trove because I wanted to build up more special meter with that in case, you know, I needed it for later. But you do have the treasure trove at this point in time. Or maybe you don't? I don't know. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I think you do. I think that's from Snow White. So collect 140 more Lux. You can do that by beating everything. I think you can do that by also 1-turning the target, and then defeat all enemies within 1 turn. It's again another pretty easy one. And then our target is right here, so we just have to beat him in 1 turn. And by turn, it does not mean attack. It literally means turn. So you have all of the medals plus whatever friend medal you bring. So at that point in the game, if you don't have enough Orichalcum, it is probably 3 medals. With your friend medal is going to be 4. If you have been putting in a little bit of extra time on the main quest as well as some side events, that's another way to get Orichalcum. And that could probably boost you up to 4 medals plus 1, which would be your friend medal. So you'd have 5 attacks to finish the turn with. This one is defeat all enemies within 1 turn, collect 200 or more Lux, and defeat the invisible. So if the invisible is particularly hidden, we'll seek him out. Shouldn't be too hard. I mean, on paper it would be, because he's invisible on paper. Literally. But in terms of where he actually is, he's probably very visible. I think I know exactly where he is. I have tried out the new Kingdom Hearts 2.8 medals. I can actually show them off after this episode, as well as at you. Some of these monsters are tough. If you're not careful, it's the end of the line for you. I think the invisible might be... either he's back there, up that way, or... no, it's not that way, it's just a regular medal. And I can't take any shortcuts. I just have to get through here. I think oh, there's the invisible. The Heartless are getting stronger, but so are you, so I'm not worried. Really? Because at that point, I probably would have been. He's got a lot of health for a level 9. We came prepared. Thankfully. And then I think that was the main objective. Oh, it's not even beat him within 1 turn, although the main objective does depend on you beating him in 1 turn. But you can always come back to the missions, and you don't have to do all 3 objectives in 1 shot in order for it to count forever. Once you complete an objective, that's it, and you clear the level, you don't have to redo it ever again. So it obviously is more cost efficient if you do them all in 1 shot if you can. But if you have to come back, you don't have to like beat you don't have to beat all enemies in 1 turn as well as beat the invisible in 1 turn. If you know, if you already have to beat all enemies in 1 turn you can skip enemies and then just go beat the invisible, if that makes sense. So we're almost full with the special gauge on that one. Is there anything else I'm missing special gauge on? Oh, hey, oddly enough, treasure trove. I'll bring treasure trove. I hear strange noises coming from the storehouse. With all the monsters around, I can't help but think it's one of them. Well, look at that scowl. Well, if you insist, then you have my permission. Wamp. So I guess we're gonna go look. Didn't really have much of a choice there. So defeat all enemies within 1 turn. Defeat 6 or more enemies that dependent on that, obviously. And collect 120 more Lux. If you do the mission right, you'll get it, guaranteed. And then I think they all had like the first one probably had 1. The second one had 2, and then this one had like 3 or something. I don't know. So yeah, there's that. And then that's the end of that one. Whew, man. Sorry if I'm sounding a little drained. I have definitely recorded everything up to 100 before, so re-recording it is a little mentally like I got some big case of deja vu. So it really was one of the monsters. You did a great job. The townspeople can rest easy now. Can they really, though? I don't think you know what you're talking about in the slightest. So this would be the last one for this episode. This one's also another pretty easy one. Collect 120 or more, use 2 or more special attacks, and then defeat all enemies within 1 turn. So I think I'm going to use the same Keyblade because it's not full yet. And where are we going? What brings you here? Your guess is as good as mine, officer. Me? Well, I hear the red bandit monster's out in the desert. I'm just grabbing a few things for the road. That monster and I have some unfinished business. You want to come with me? Yeah, sure. I appreciate it, but I can't let you do that. Of course, I can't really stop you either. Try not to get hurt. I like the way he thinks. Very considerate of my feelings, I guess. And then I think, yeah, I already showed him off, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll just breeze right past everybody, take out the tornado step. And then... oh my god, that actually killed him in 1 shot. Whoops. And that got us pretty close to what we needed, so that's good. I'll take that. And then that's actually going to do it for this episode on YouTube, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, you can leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. Twitch people that are currently tuned in on the chat, stay tuned. I'm just batch recording episodes, so feel free to hang tight. YouTube people, I will see you on the next one. Later.